Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're going to talk about Chris Gardner.
Chris Gardner.
The guy from the movie, The
Yeah.
Pursuit of Happyness.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure most of you have at least heard of that movie, if not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really inspiring story.
Yeah.
But we're going to go a little deeper than the movie today and talk about some of the things that we can learn from his journey.
Yeah.
From going from homelessness to being a millionaire.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
There's a lot we can...
Let's get into it. So, first, let's set the scene. It's 1981, San Francisco. Chris Gardner is a young, struggling medical equipment salesman.
Oh, wow.
He's barely scraping by.
Okay.
And he's also a single dad raising his little boy.
That's tough.
Yeah. Can you imagine the pressure?
Absolutely. It's a very difficult time for him. I mean, financial strain, responsibility of raising a child alone,
Yeah.
And it would have been easy to just kind of give up, I think, at that point.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But here's where things get really interesting. One day, Gardner has this chance encounter with this guy driving a shiny red Ferrari.
Oh, wow.
And it turns out this guy's a stockbroker.
Right.
Now, most people would just be envious, right? Like, oh, look at that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Gardner saw an opportunity.
Interesting.
He boldly asks the stockbroker,
Okay.
what do you do and how can I do it?
Yeah.
And that simple question changed the entire trajectory of his life.
That is so interesting to me. I mean, so many people would just be envious of the car.
Right.
But he saw an opportunity. He was curious, and that's what changed his whole life.
Yeah, that willingness to just ask, to find out more. But he had a long road ahead of him.
Oh, yeah?
He had no college degree, no experience in finance, no connections in that world.
It's true. He was starting with pretty much nothing except ambition.
Raw ambition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that burning desire to make a better life for him and his son. And that brings us to a really tough chapter. His girlfriend leaves, and she takes all their money.
Oh, no.
And Gardner finds himself homeless with his young son.
So this is where his resilience really shines. He could have just given up at that point.
Yeah.
He's in a horrible situation, but he kept moving forward.
Yeah.
They slept in shelters on buses.
A subway bathroom.
Even in that subway bathroom. All the while, never losing sight of that goal.
And that's going to be so hard, right? To be in that kind of desperate situation and still...
It'd be so easy.
Believe that there's something better.
Just give up.
Yeah. But you know what's amazing?
Yeah.
Even amidst all this struggle, Gardner manages to land an unpaid internship at a brokerage firm, Dean Witter Reynolds.
He was determined to make it work no matter what.
Yeah. So here he is. He's homeless. He's working for free. And he's still responsible for his son.
That's incredible.
I mean, what would it take for you to show that level of commitment to your goals?
I don't know.
I mean...
That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty unbelievable. I mean, he's juggling all this stuff. He's cold calling potential clients. He's studying for the stockbroker licensing exam, all with his son sleeping in his lap.
Wow.
It's crazy.
His story's amazing. It reminds us that we have so much strength that we don't even realize.
For sure. For sure. And then that pivotal moment, he passes the licensing exam.
That's the turning point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's when his luck finally starts to change.
Yeah. I mean, that's when he could finally provide a stable home for his son. He secured that paid position at Dean Witter Reynolds.
And he thrived in it.
Yep.
I mean, from what I read, his work ethic was legendary. He was skipping lunch breaks to make more calls. He was always putting in the extra effort while everyone else was taking it easy.
He was working hard and he was working smart. He was learning from everybody he could, refining his skills.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the best.
It paid off, too. Within a few years, he went from being homeless to one of the top performers at the firm.
It's like a real-life fairy tale.
Yeah, but
it doesn't end there.
It doesn't end there. You're right. It's more than just the money.
Right.
So in 1987, Gardner takes a huge leap and founds his own brokerage firm, Gardner Rich & Co.
Wow.
And that's when he really solidified his status as a self-made millionaire.
And he never forgot where he came from.
Yeah, you'd think after achieving that level of success, someone might just want to kick back and enjoy it. But Gardner wasn't like that.
No.
He really became known for his philanthropy, his commitment to giving back to the community, and advocating for financial literacy. He really understood the challenges people face, especially those struggling financially. And he wanted to make a difference.
Yeah. He wanted to help people.
Yeah, he was using his success to empower others.
That's great.
I think it adds a whole other layer to his story.
It does.
It's not just about him, you know? It's about taking his experiences and turning them into something positive for the world.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's dive into some of these key takeaways for our listeners.
Okay.
What are some actionable insights we can glean from his incredible journey?
Well, I think it all starts with that moment when Gardner asked the stockbroker what he did and how he could do it. That simple act of inquiry opened up a whole new world.
So what you're saying is sometimes all it takes is asking the right question.
Yeah, just asking the right questions can completely change your life.
We limit ourselves by not being curious. We get stuck in our own heads thinking, oh, that's not for me.
Exactly.
Or I could never do that. But what if you just asked?
Yeah.
And what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
You might be surprised at what could happen. So another crucial takeaway here, I think, is that persistence over circumstance?
Yes.
Gardner faced unimaginable challenges, but he refused to let those circumstances define him. He kept pushing forward.
Right.
Even when it seemed impossible.
He didn't let the obstacles break him.
Yeah.
He used them to grow.
What about you? Are you giving up too easily on things?
It makes you think.
Are you letting setbacks define you?
Yeah, are we letting things define us?
What if instead of focusing on the problems, you focused on the solutions?
What if instead of why me, it was how can I
fix this?
Yes.
How can I get around this?
Exactly.
So it's about taking control, right? Not just letting life happen to you, but actively shaping your own destiny.
Absolutely.
I think another thing that's really key here is that Gardner's story really highlights the importance of investing in yourself.
Yeah.
Even when he was homeless and working for free, he was constantly learning.
He knew.
Pushing himself to be better.
Knowledge is power.
He understood that knowledge is power, and he was willing to put in the time and effort to acquire that knowledge.
We can all do that no matter what our situation is.
Yeah, it could be taking an online course,
Yeah.
reading a book, attending a workshop.
Anything that helps you grow.
Anything that helps you grow. So think about it like planting a seed.
Yes.
It may not yield immediate results, but over time it will grow and flourish and bring you closer to your goals.
Absolutely.
Now, I know you've accomplished a lot in your own career. Did you always have that growth mindset? Were there times when you felt like giving up, but something pushed you to keep going?
Yeah, there were definitely times when things got tough and I felt like giving up. But I always tried to remember why I started in the first place.
Okay.
What my goals were.
Yeah.
And that usually gave me the motivation to keep going.
So you had to kind of dig deep and find that.
Yeah, just remind myself why I was doing this.
Yeah.
What I was working towards.
That makes sense. So, I mean, it's easy to talk about persistence and determination, but actually putting those principles into practice, that's the hard part, right?
That's the real challenge.
So were there any specific times when, you really had to push yourself?
I remember one time early in my career, I was working on this really complex financial model, and I just hit a wall. The numbers weren't adding up. I was under a tight deadline, and I just felt overwhelmed.
Yeah, I bet that was frustrating.
It was really stressful.
Did you just want to give up?
Honestly, yeah. Part of me just wanted to walk away.
Yeah.
But then I remembered something that Chris Gardner said in an interview.
Okay.
He talked about how he viewed challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth.
Interesting.
And that really resonated with me.
So how did you apply that to your situation?
Well, I took a step back.
Okay.
I broke the problem down into smaller, more manageable pieces.
Okay.
And then I just started tackling them one by one.
Kind of like divide and conquer.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I also reached out to some colleagues for advice and support.
Yeah, sometimes just having someone to talk to can really help.
It makes a huge difference. Just to get a different perspective.
Bounce ideas around.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that idea of, investing in yourself, not just in terms of, knowledge and skills.
Right.
But also in your support network.
Your network is so important.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with people who can help you.
Exactly.
When you need it.
And you know what? Overcoming that obstacle taught me more than any textbook ever could.
Really?
It forced me to think creatively, to problem solve, and develop a resilience that I didn't even know I had.
So you learned by doing.
Yeah, by facing that challenge head on.
It's like those challenges can actually make us stronger.
They absolutely can. They push us outside of our comfort zones and force us to grow.
Just like Chris Gardner.
Exactly.
We can choose to see those challenges as opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as we wrap up our deep dive into Chris Gardner's incredible journey,
Okay.
let's recap some of these key takeaways for you.
Right.
We talked about the power of inquiry.
Yes.
Daring to ask questions.
Asking questions.
Exploring possibilities.
Don't be afraid to ask.
You know, that one simple question changed everything for Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
And it could do the same for you. We also discussed the importance of persistence over circumstance.
Yes.
Remember, your current situation doesn't define your potential.
You have the power to choose how you respond to those challenges.
Don't let those setbacks define you.
Keep moving forward.
And of course, we highlighted the importance of investing in yourself.
Yes.
Continually learning.
Growing. Expanding your skill set.
Expanding your skill set.
It's crucial.
Whether it's taking a class, reading a book, finding a mentor, there are endless ways to invest in your growth.
There are.
So as we leave you today, we want to challenge you with this. What's one small step you can take today to move closer to your goals?
It could be anything.
It could be something as simple as making a phone call, sending an email, setting aside 30 minutes to learn a new skill.
Just take action.
The key is to take action.
Don't wait for the perfect moment.
Don't wait. Just start where you are with what you have and keep moving forward.
Remember, Chris Gardner went from sleeping in a subway bathroom to building a multi-million-dollar company.
That's amazing.
So imagine what you can achieve if you just set your mind to it.
Yeah.
And never give up on your dreams.
Never give up. Thanks for joining us on this inspiring deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing yourself to be the best version of you.
Yeah, it really is. It just shows you what's possible when you set your mind to it and never give up.
And that's what's so inspiring about Chris Gardner's story, right? I mean, he really did come from nothing, and he achieved so much. But it's not just about the money, it's about that mindset.
Exactly. It's about that belief in yourself.
Yeah, that belief that you can overcome any obstacle, that you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
And that no matter where you start, you can always change your trajectory.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message for anyone who's feeling stuck or lost or like we're facing insurmountable challenges.
It's a reminder that we all have that potential within us.
So let's bring it back to our listeners one more time. What's one key piece of advice, one actionable step that you would give them based on what we've learned from Chris Gardner's journey?
Well, I think the most important thing is to just start. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. Just take that first step, no matter how small it may seem.
Yeah. Make that phone call. Send that email. Sign up for that class, whatever it is that you've been putting off. Just do it.
Exactly. And remember, every journey starts with a single step.
And as you continue on that journey, remember the lessons we've talked about today, the power of inquiry, persistence over circumstance, and investing in yourself.
And never be afraid to ask for help along the way.
Yeah, build that support network. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and your dreams.
And most importantly, never give up.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the inspiring story of Chris Gardner. We hope you found it as motivating as we did.
Yeah, it's a story that really makes you think about your own potential.
Absolutely. So until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing yourself to be the best version of you.